Hello everybody and welcome to the second episode to the Stage Editor Project Manager Guide. It's just passed 1 minute for me from the last video, but for you maybe it's passed also 1 minute because I think that I'm going to upload all the videos or at least 2 or 3 videos at the same time. So, where we left off? Here we've got the Stage Editor open on our GPX file. I remember you the second GPX. We tore the road of the area trio, and from this point we're going to start to track the roads. Voila! We start to track the road using this button on the left. You see that there is a small button. I hope that you see the mouse. Yes, it's activated. Yes. Here we zoom, we select a point that Bra was almost here, and with the right button of the mouse we click here and we start to track all the points of the road. So tack, tack, tack. We've got here in this section all the visualization about the information of the road that we are tracking. First thing we've got is, oh well, there are so many options. I'll tell you which are the most important options that are useful now when we are tracking. We have got the left, the white of the road here. Voya, c'est français, ça, voyez. The large of the road. So we've got 2 at 3 meter and 50, that is the standard. We can do it 1, you see that is smaller. It is useful for the road for the mountain, the one that are very narrow. We've got 3, that is for the main road, for example the big road that go from one town to another one, that is typical of the plan of in Italian there are strada statale, the country road or country. They are the big one, the one that you usually do when you go in the country side. And then there is 4 that is different because it's more like high road, the one that you do usually when you go on holiday, when you move from another country to another and you pay the ticket and you use this. And then also I remember you have different size of one voia, one way. It is 3 meter and 3 meter and 50. I suggest you to keep 2 way 3 meter and 50. But then if there are some points we can make it narrow or wider. Then we can also, this is something that not many people that do already doing stages know, we can move just some point on the same road to change the characteristic of this point, of this section. If I zoom, you see that there is like a directional signal, and from the directional signal you see that there is a yellow part and the orange part. The yellow part show you the part of the direction that you are going to modify if you want to change something. So if for example I want to create a smaller part in the same road, I can unselect this point, then change this here, and you see that you are going to have a smaller point in the same road. But this is not what we want to do for this particular stage. So we reselect. We can do also spline. Well, if I can do the same for, I unselect now spline, and I can change some points. So I have a road that is a bit narrow, a bit larger. But if I want to reset and put again, transform again all the road the same way, I select spline. And then I re-click on 2. This because for everything, now this is an example, but everything, if you want to edit just one point, you have to unselect spline. If you want to edit all the road, you select spline, because this is spline. What is? So we continue tracking the road. Okay, it is very long maybe to create all the road live, so I stop a bit and then I restart the recording when it's completed. Okay, see you in 1 second. 3, 2, 1. So here we are with the magic. I almost completed the road network. Just some tips. If there is a straight road like this, I don't suggest you to create just a flat road like this here. One thing, because this terrain is not completely flat, you see, and the points are saved on the same height of the terrain. So if I put a point here and a point here, if the terrain is not flat, I'm going to have a simple road always with the same slope, and maybe inside this road that is or straight, there are different height, different slopes that are minimal, maybe in this way they can't be identified. And then also because in the game each point corresponds to a different artificial intelligence configuration. So more points there are in a map, and more possibility for a better behavior of the artificial intelligence there are. So avoid this, but do more points than you can. Another thing that is very important is to keep in mind that Pro Cycling Manager is a game with staging scale. The real distance are not these ones. So what in reality is 10 kilometers, here maybe is 2 points, is very close. And so for this reason we must create something that is not, we must accept that we are going to create a stage that is exactly the same of the reality. If, for example, to reach our top of the mountain, in the reality there are 20 curves, in the game we must create it in 10 curves, and we can do curves that are too close each other. For example, here you see Gamora. The real draw of the curves is completely different from the one that I did, but I have to do it because if I created some curves like the reality, wasn't good for the artificial intelligence, it also wasn't good for the game. So I had to achieve to create something different from the reality, but with the same effect. So our purpose is to create maybe one curve instead of two, larger, but with the same distance and the same slope. So here we are, we create almost all the road network. I miss a couple of roads, but they weren't necessary. We can see also this in our 3D map, we can navigate. I give you one other tips. There are a lot of fast keys in the keyboard for the stage editor. If I want to zoom on a point, I can, that is an object, that is a point of the road, I must select one point, and then with the space bar, I click, and here the display, the monitor is focused on the point that we selected. So then we, like I teach you the last time, I zoom out and I zoom in. What are these points that appear, this direction that appears on the points? So snap, this means that each thing that we are going to do on this map is going to be snapped to the landscape, to the terrain. If we try to move up or move down, it doesn't work. But if we select this point, we can move up or move down the point. We can move to the right, move to the left, and then with this move like free. That is a bit down, up, or like word. If you push, if you Ctrl Z, you go down with the thing that you did before. This is very useful to make good profiles of the stage and to place the objects. So we create the road. Ah, yes, I was forgetting. One type, one way. I'm a motorbike. One way to move the object are with these directional signals, but then I can move up, always remembering to unclick, unselect the snap object. I can move up and down, and this is also very important for creating a good profile. I create up and down the objects and the points of the road. In this way, you see down that there is a value called Z. This is the height of the object in the map. So this point is 186 meters of height. If I want to put it up, I just have to modify this, you see? But this is also very nice because if I select more than one point and I keep selecting the control, tac, tac, and I put the same value, I have all the points at the same height. And this is also very useful, especially I said you for the objects and for the road. Okay, go back. Now we track the road that the routes that we created before, the one of the stage. So all the other rows from the GPX are disappeared because I selected the other one. Then with this we can unselect all the things and select all the things of the map. If I do none, I can see nothing except the GPX. If I do all, I can see everything that is inside the map. For the moment, just the road. These things is possible also pressing Ctrl, Ctrl and D. Ctrl and D, I see the things without the points, and none, I already see just the GPX. To see, I try to see so the beginning of our GPX that is here. I select this feature, and now also with the like before with the right click, I start selecting. Well, I can select each point. The important thing, I can jump some points. The important thing is to select the point when there is a crossroad. So if I do like this, I have a problem because it's automatic and go select all the road out around. What I must do is select each point. Well, this is no. This is my problem because I create a road that is circular. So I must do this. Well, I choose another road. I have to fix a point, sorry, I have to fix a point of the road. Yes, this is something, is not something that I was thinking to show you, but it's something that can happen to the people that want to create circuit. Why, if I select this point, it automatically goes to the beginning of my route? Because in fact, this road is all the same road. The game, the stage editor recognize like a circuit, so it automatically follow the road. What I can do, what is better to do in these cases to avoid this problem, is also simply to direct a piece of the road that I created. If you see, one thing that is also important, in this way you can see the selected road, and in the red you see the unselected road. So I create something that is a bit circular in this, so I have to modify a bit the road, like, I complicated a bit the life, sorry for the little mistake. To remove route, I remove all the route that I create. In this case, or just 2 points, but in this way I created all the route so I can modify the road. If you want to modify the road, you must work without the route is better. If not, you can create some bugs in the stage and it's not good. So, and then I fix this problem loading again the GPX of everything. And now I can do something like this and then create another road, not the same road. That is better to avoid this type of problem. I could cut this part of the video because maybe you think, oh well, this is not some good to learn, but no, yes, it's good because the problems are very common in the stage editor. You spend maybe half of the time to create your stage and the other half of the time to fix all the problems and the bugs that can be found in the stage. And this is something common for the people that don't do a really good road before to track the spline. So now we are okay, and I can start again. I take the old GPX, and here we are. Well, another thing important. It's better to start the route 2 kilometers before the real departure and finish the route 2 kilometers after the real arrival, because then when I put the departure and arrival line in the route, this works for 2 kilometers after the first point of the spline. So if I wanted to start my stage here in the center of Bra, it's better to put the real departure here, because I have to consider at least 2 kilometers from the departure. If are more, better, but at least 2 kilometers. So as I told you, I start to put the point for all my stage. Tac, La Morra, go down to La Morra, here, and where is Barolo? Here. And here we are in Barolo, so the stage should finish here, but me I continue doing the spline. Here we are. Now that we have the spline, we can also move the camera on the spline that we created. And so it's spline camera. Here we are. The first one was main camera. With the main camera, you can move all over the road. With spline camera, you move just following the road. You can go back, you can go on, but never zoom out, zoom in, but not in other direction. But in this way, we can see all the road of the map that we created. And then in profile view, we see the profile. If it doesn't appear, you press the spacebar always. Spacebar like focus. We see the profile of the stage that we have created. Is exactly the profile of the stages that we wanted to do. Go to check. To check the profile, I suggest a different website from Radio with GPS that was this. I suggest that this website that is from Rouge, because you can track also with this, but it's better right with GPS to track the stage. But in this website you can import the GPX and track the profile. This is very nice because I have different options. For example, the filter. You can set the filter to 1, and then the filter for the slopes. You can set this one, the style of salite.ch, that is a Swiss website that I suggest you also to visit, because it contains all the slope of so many mountains in the world, especially Europe, and you can see the slope with this style. There are different colors for different percentage of slope. It is exactly the one used with the stage editor, so it's more clear for us. So what we have to do now is create the exactly same profile with the stage editor and fix the one that we created. But I think that it's already passed so much time that I'm going to explain this in the next episode. Bye bye. See you.